Hey yo, peace 1-2. What's up, y'all? Yours truly, D Prime 215 here. If you're watching this and you enjoy it, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe to yours truly. I'd appreciate that. For this video, we're going to talk about WrestleMania 41. WrestleMania 41 once again. In particular, the main event of night one, CM Punk versus Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns. How do we get this match? Who do I think is going to win? Why? All those things. So set it off with a brief, high level timeline, if you will. So pretty much, CM Punk returns to WWE. Ever since he came back, him and Rollins have been reigniting their feud, interfering in each other's promos. They've had singles matches, running down on each other, all sorts of things, right? So it's constantly been like a on and off, intertwined, various ways of beefing with each other, right? Fast forward to the Royal Rumble this year, Royal Rumble 2025. Punk eliminated both Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. Then Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins started to fight each other with Rollins hitting Reigns with the curb stomp. So now they beefing again, right? And then let's get to the Elimination Chamber. CM Punk eliminates Rollins. Rollins, throws a fit, all in character, of course. And then he costs Punk the match, all right? Then Punk and Rollins have a steel cage match. I believe this is in order. Punk and Rollins have a steel cage match. As this match is underway, Roman Reigns comes back and he just puts, hands and feet to both Punk and Seth. So that's pretty much how we got this match, more or less. And then another thing that was pretty an interesting turn of events, if you will. Long story short, Paul Heyman is now in CM Punk's corner. CM Punk stole Paul Heyman from Roman Reigns, which just adds a little bit more tension and another variable to this match because Paul Heyman has he has history with CM Punk, right? So it's like, is he going to stick by CM Punk's side? Is he going to help Punk win? Is there going to be a tug of war situation? Is he going to betray either Punk or Reigns? Maybe both. Is he going to go with Seth Rollins? There's so many ways this Paul Heyman being in the person's corner thing can affect the outcome of the match, right? So with all those things considered, again, that's a very high level, overview of, how this match came together, from my eyes looking at it. But I look at, all three people who could win, and I think this is a testament to how well, like, WWE as of late has been able to build certain matches and the storylines and the writing and everything, because this could really go any way, you know what I mean? So, but when I think about it, I'm going to pick CM Punk because Punk, all right, so here's why. I feel like if Seth or Roman won, it would build to some sort of world championship match within the next 3 to 6 months. Just because of where they're at in the card and, their abilities to move and stuff like that. I feel like they would have to challenge for that gold in the not too distant future, right? Punk, to me, has the most open-ended, outside looking in, open-ended, I'm gonna say not fallout, but events that could happen after this match. Punk, I can't really see him competing for the world championship anytime soon. I don't think he needs to, and I don't know if he even really wants to, honestly. So I'm not speaking for him as a person. I'm talking on the characters, right? Like, I don't see that character really going after that anytime soon, really. So with Punk, they could do whatever, and I'm sure there's some other matches that don't involve a world championship that Punk would be a great part of. So I look at the whole thing, I'm like, give it to Punk, let Punk get this one, because it's the most open-ended. You can go however you want from here, right? So that's that. Now, something else I wanted to talk about, given that, I wanted to get to the prediction first and, the synopsis of the match. But this is something that I was thinking about as I was putting this together. I'm like, yo, this is a really, really, really wild, way to get your first main event at WrestleMania, right? Like you could write a book just on this, you know what I mean? But so pretty much CM Punk, again, high level spark notes, if you will, even that, overview, right? So CM Punk's in WWE for, I forget the amount of years, but he was there for a long time. World champion, WWE champion, tag champion, intercontinental champion. He did a lot, right? ECW champion, for what it's worth. I just say that because it was the rebooted version, but nonetheless, he held all that gold. Did a lot there. New great matches with a lot of great people, great storylines, so on and so forth, right? Leaves WWE not on great terms. He was having issues with people there, not just from like a storyline perspective, but from a health perspective as well. He got his walking papers at his wedding. So he left. They had the infamous pipe bomb promo, stuff like that. So he didn't leave on great terms. After leaving WWE, he proceeds to when I guess ultimately when he felt like it, he would take shots at WWE, which was understandable. One of those shots was, he never got a WrestleMania main event, and that always like dug at him and bothered him, right? So in his time away from WWE, he did, mixed martial arts with UFC, did a couple films here and there. 7 years after his departure from the pro wrestling world as a wrestler, he rejoins the pro wrestling world, this time with AEW. While in AEW, again, when he felt the opportunity was there, it made sense, at least to him, or at least his character, if you will, the on-screen character, he would take, certain shots at WWE. All right, cool, right? Then, during his time there, he had some issues with some people, and, he let his action, he let his hands do the speaking for him, if you will. So one event took place in Chicago, and there are so many NDAs about it. I'm just waiting for, I guess, like 10, 20 years from now when they put the book out, and hopefully some security camera footage, because I know it was like World Star backstage at that certain show that took place, in Chicago. Allegedly, there were, beyond hands and feet, there were some alleged teeth involved. Pause, just in case. So yeah, you had that situation. And then, overseas, in another country, CM Punk apparently had to find his way there, and when he got there, he had, altercation, he had an altercation with someone, and he put some of that MMA work to use on the person. This came out because like he went on a platform. I'm saying a lot without saying a lot, but I'm saying a lot. I mean, connect the dots. But like he went on a platform. He was talking about this overseas situation, and he's everything he said he did that. And then AEW went on to air that footage, which just showed that he did what he said he did. So, after a while, he eventually made, Tony Khan feel threatened enough and fear for his life enough. And he was, fired from AEW. Then he rejoins WWE. What year was this? 2023? Yeah, 2023, because 2024. All right, yeah. So, yeah, that's pretty much what happened. He goes back to WWE. I don't know if he was going to main event night one. He might have main evented night one against Seth Rollins. Possibly. I'm not 100% sure on that. But he got injured, and then, he wasn't able to wrestle. So I say all that to say this. CM Punk has had the wildest trip to the main event of WrestleMania of anyone that I've seen in the last decade. This is a movie, all right? Like, I just had to say that because, it's his first main event. But, like, son was beefing with people at WWE, got fired from he got fired from WWE, leaves wrestling for 7 years, gets back into it, gets to AEW, put the beats on people, and then gets fired from AEW, goes back to WWE, gets set up for a main event, gets injured, has to fall back, gets back into it, and they get to. This is a wild story, bro. I'm not trying to be funny, even. I ain't trying to be rude, disrespectful to nobody, but it's like, yo, this is the wildest way to main event. I don't think anyone else should try this, by the way, but it's just like, I was sitting like, that is a wild timeline. But yeah, man, I had to throw that in at the end. But yeah, ultimately, I'm going with CM Punk. Are you going with CM Punk, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins? Let me know what you think in the comment section below. As always, appreciate you all for watching, and I actually appreciate it if you made it to the end of the video. And lastly, I know in particular Punk is a polarizing figure. I just want to remind y'all something. Y'all don't know him. Y'all don't know him. I don't know him. So like, if you happen to disagree with it, anyone, doesn't even have to be me, but don't trip and take it so to heart. Like, I'm pretty sure it's not that deep. You know what I mean? Like, relax. All right. So with that being said, be good, and we'll see what it's hitting for at WrestleMania 41. And hey man, this is a wild road to the main event. All right. Peace.